right. Starting this bad boy off early. Right after the game. Hold on, I actually need to let's make a post. We don't make too many posts. We need to make more posts. We need to let people know what we're doing, where we're at, what's going on. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Let's see. Schedule this. Let's go to IG. Relax Clan. What you mean? What you mean? Hold on. What you mean relax? What we relaxing for? Who we relaxing for even? Let's put this on X. All right. Let's see. I see Sohan sucks. As soon as I see that, I'm like, oh, that's Daryl. Hey, Daryl. I really hope that you're only wrong with this. Like, I hope in life you're right about everything, but this is like the one terrible take you have. Like, this is like the one time you're wrong every single time. All right, hold on. Give me a second. I need to, my phone is connecting to my Bluetooth. I don't know why, so give me a second. It's connected to my Bluetooth headphones. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Whew. Cap says horrible. That's what happens when you don't have a center that can rebound. I don't know why Spurs refuse to draft or sign anyone that's 7 foot. Well, at this point, you know, it's not going to happen. Here's the thing. Everything leading up to this point, I'm not really angry about the Spurs not having that yet, right? Like, it's a process. We're rebuilding. We had one of those, but we traded them, and I think we got a good deal out of the trade. We traded Jakob Poeltl, right? And it led to us having, you know, some of the talent that we have now. So I'm not. I'll say. Let's see. Hold on. Let me try to rephrase it. Okay. We'll make it a small little segment. Okay. All right. So Caps, I see you, my boy. All right. So let me read it again for everybody. Okay. He said it's horrible. That's what happens when you don't have a center that can rebound. I don't know why the Spurs refuse to draft or sign anyone that's 7 foot. So in my opinion, everything that led up to this point, I think that the Spurs have been making good moves, right? I can't necessarily be angry with them not having a 7 footer yet, because I think that some of the draft picks that they elected to go with has a higher potential than if you were to just go for a center in those drafts, right? Like, I think that they did a really good job, and everything kind of led up to certain things, right? Like, you could say, hey, why didn't they try to get a center with that 8th pick that they had? But that 8th pick turned into De'Aaron Fox, right? We had Jakob Poeltl, but Jakob Poeltl, he turned into some valuable pieces. So I'm just not one of those that's like really upset about it. I think that it's time, right? I think if we go another season and this isn't fixed, then I will be pretty irritated. But I think the time is now, right? And at this point, I think there's been a lot of good moves since the rebuild has started, and we're gonna really be able to ramp it up, in this next season. So that's kind of where I'm at, right? You said it's definitely time. Oh, undoubtedly, it's undoubtedly time now. It's just to say like, oh, they should have done it at this point or this point. It's like, well, you know, how everything led up, you were getting a lot of assets for the future. You were starting to rebuild. And when you're starting to rebuild, it's not guaranteed that you get Wemby. It's not guaranteed that you get certain players. So you get certain, you know, certain picks. You just go with players that have the most potential, right? And it makes sense for them to do that. I know that we've been complaining about this since Primo, but I think Primo had a lot of potential. I do. I truly do. I mean, now, you know, hindsight's undefeated, I guess. We all have hindsight, but at the time, it did make sense when we actually sat back and thought about it. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll be okay. We'll be all right. Those are my thoughts on that. It'll be okay. I guess that's my overall take about the Spurs. It'll be okay. I'm actually shocked that some of you guys are coming in here upset about this game. Primo made no sense. He had a lot of potential. Primo had a lot of potential. You wanted a true scoring threat, right? Like he was lights out 3-point shooter in college. Lights out 3-point shooter. I mean, they really did believe he could have had a SGA type trajectory, right? That was a player that he looked up to and that he was pretty close with. And you saw certain attributes of that. Now, obviously hindsight, he is not going to be the player he could have been. Him not having the same resources that he had when he first got into the league, having a whole season in which you weren't working out with like NBA. Well, maybe he was working out with NBA, agents, but you weren't playing with NBA players, right? Like you missed a whole year there, and now you're in a situation where teams aren't really going to take a chance with you. So you're definitely not going to. The potential was there, but he's not able. Your live has stopped. I'm back. Oh, did it stop? I didn't get a notification that it messed up. Strange. Okay, so what I wanted to do, should we let more people come in? Yeah, we'll wait. What I wanted to do was just talk about this game briefly. We literally play tomorrow. I didn't realize we play tomorrow, so I'm not going to trip about it. But I want to talk about this game briefly, and then I wanted to go over this YouTuber who actually I sent in some game footage for him to look at, but we'll get to that point. And he actually reviewed it, which I was curious, and he said that I could watch it on stream, so I wanted to do that. Anyways, losing by 10 to a championship team isn't too bad. Yeah, I don't see how people are upset about it, especially for a team with this many health issues. I don't see the issue here. I actually loved this game. I'll be real with you. There was a lot of competitiveness. Mitch Johnson, bro. Did you see him get angry? That was kind of scary. I was like, whoa, I'm not used to that. Mitch? Is it Jet Set Radio? Oh, no, Jet. Yeah, it is. All right, let's see. Where are we at now? Let's see. Some of these chatters that I missed. I'm not mad, but the rebounding was infuriating. Let's look at the numbers, because I felt the Spurs got a lot of offensive rebounds. So I am curious. Castle kind of had a bad game and still had 22. He will always find ways to contribute. Yeah, players like that is why, players like him and the players like Sohan are types of players you're going to always be able to find value even in tougher games. That's why I think when we're an actual playoff game or playoff team, we're going to see the immense value of those types, right? That they can still manage to contribute in some way. They make it They make it easy for everybody else. One thing that I noticed was there was many a times that Barnes was wide open for corner three because of Sohan's presence, because they knew how good he is around the rim. So they were collapsing quite often and leaving, even when Sohan didn't have the ball, right? Like, it's not going to come up on the stat sheet at all, but they were collapsing just to make sure he doesn't get the ball around the rim. I think stuff like that is very valuable, right? I think stuff like that is very valuable. Vassell went ghost. Vassell always goes ghost at some point. You don't know if it's the injury or the loose handles. I'm not sure, dude. That he almost posterized Porzingis. That was nice to see. I'm glad that he wasn't hurt. I didn't think that he was hurt, but he did hit the ground pretty hard. Okay, let me read this comment from Z. He says, hold on. All right, yeah, let me read this comment from Z. He says, no, same. There's nothing to be mad about. Like, we're genuinely one off season away. The only reason we lost was because of the rebounding, which was inevitable. Yeah, a lot of these losses are going to be quite inevitable, right? One thing that I took away from this Celtics game is that the Spurs showed immense competitiveness. And I think on all fronts, right? I thought coaching was competitive. I thought the players were competitive. I thought that the defense, actually Vassell's defense, even though Caps mentioned that he went ghost, Vassell's defense was actually pretty good, especially down the stretch on Tatum. Just overall, I think that the team did fairly well. It just came down to the talent, right? Like, we're just out-talented it. Out-talented it? You know what I mean. So that's what it really came down to. And as far as, some of the things that we're going to need, a starting small forward, for instance, a backup center, these things that are going to come. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Spurs don't know that. It's going to happen. So just this game, yeah, it was rough, at times, but they were very competitive, and you only lost by 10 points in a game where if you weren't on your game, you could have easily lost by 20-30, easily. But yeah. So those are my thoughts. I thought they played with a lot of competitiveness. Sohan would be a monster if he was 35% 3-point shooter, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think right now, where is he now? 30. What is he? I'm gonna make a guess and say 31. I think last time we checked, he was 32 or 33. Last season, he ended up being 30 because of his last couple months of basketball. It got really bad. Let me see. Where are you at? He's at, 30. Actually, he is still 33. Okay. He's still 33. It's all improving. Everything's improved. I mean, everything is improved. And the only thing that hasn't is assists, and that makes sense. Just about everything's gonna improved. Free throw percentage could be better. 68%. He was 77 last season. Which is kind of strange because every time I see him go to the line, which I guess he just doesn't go to the line enough for me to notice, but every time he goes, I'm pretty confident that it's going to go in. So I don't know what's up with that. 3-point percentage went up 3%, and field goal percentage went up 11%. This is why I don't understand the hate, bro. The fact that he became more efficient and playing just a few, less minutes or whatnot, this is really impressive to me. I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what people are even basing it off of when they don't like Sohan. Yeah, it seems like he doesn't miss free throws. Yeah, it's weird that it's at 68%. I guess 68% is a good percentage for somebody who's maybe it's a good percentage for somebody that's a power forward. But yeah. Why Mitch have Sohan deal with the bigs all by himself? Why didn't Biombo play? I have no clue, bro. I have no. You guys want to just go over the game? We can just go over the game. Tomorrow we'll have more to talk about, so I won't make this an independent segment. We'll just have it as it'll be its own contained thing, right? We'll just have it as its own contained thing. So let's go over. Oh well, hold on. Let's go over this game just briefly. Like, I don't have much to say about it. All right. So, San Antonio Spurs. Let's see. So, statistic-wise, right? Oh my goodness. Sohan got all of his points from the free throw line. He was fighting out there. Percentage-wise, he was horrible, though. But he was fighting. Let's see, Harrison Barnes. And this is another thing, too. I say this all the time. I don't actually look at the stats until I talk to you guys. Now, some things, it just pops up, right? Like, if I'm actually listening to the game, they'll bring up, like, oh, this player has this amount of points right now, or, vice versa, whatever it is. And then I'll know it then. But I don't actually seek it out to be like, how did this player do based on stats? Like, I'm watching the game. I can tell the impact that they're having, right? Sohan definitely had an impact in this game. Didn't recognize that his free throw percentage was this bad, but he was at the line so often, which is crazy. But he definitely played. He played well. He was having an impact all over the place. Harrison Barnes 5 for 11, 5 for 8 from Chris. Only 5 assists from Chris. You expect a little bit more sometimes. Devin Vassell played well, and then he just disappeared. But at the end of the game, I thought defensively he was really good. Like on-ball defense, not just off-ball defender like we were kind of accustomed to praising him for. I thought he was a pretty good on-ball defender. This shows Sohan's good on offense, but has work to do to be better. He's a kid, bro. Like, yeah, he has to improve, just like Castle has to improve, just like Wemby has to improve. Like, they're in the long scheme of things, they're kids. Like, they're very early in their basketball development. Like they are very early. It's gonna take a minute, but he did well. Devin, though, he disappears often, but at the end of the game, I thought defensively he did well. Steph Castle actually did better than I thought. Okay, it was all the 3-point shots because it felt like his percentage was even worse than this, but it all came from behind the arc, which that makes sense. But he still had 8 assists, almost had a a double-double, 22 points. All right, he did fine. Defensively, he did fine too. He did a pretty good job on Tatum when they put him on him. But Tatum did have a good game though. 10 for 22. I mean, he's under 50%, but barely. He had nearly 30 points. Let's see, Mamu. They were putting Mamu in some pretty tough situations, like where it was like, there's no way he's gonna be able to sustain what's being dished out to him. That was a little frustrating. I didn't like that. But I'm not against playing him. Champagny has been pretty lackluster, hasn't he? I mean, it's fine. It's not like I don't see value, but well, he had 16 points the last game. Let's see. He averaged in the month of March 8 points, 6 points in February, 7 points in January. Yeah, he just started off way better this season. Yeah, because look. Okay, at the beginning of the season in October, he averaged 8 points. But after that, he averaged 12, and then he averaged 12 again, and it just fell off. Let me see. His minutes fell off. Let me see. It was 30 minutes, average of 30 minutes, then an average of 26, then an average of 19, then an average of 17, 19. Okay, his minutes have fell off a little bit. Yeah, it's his minutes more than likely. I don't know. We would have to look at his usage rate. I'm not sure. Just watching the games, it's just he's not as impactful as he was prior. Or maybe the Spurs just aren't utilizing him like they did before. Keldon, statistic-wise, he did good. So this is one of those games where statistically, I'm watching the game, he did well. Field goal percentage 9 for 12, right? But man, one of those shots he took at the end, I was like, why? Why did you take that? Tried to score on Derek White. Very strange. I don't know if the Spurs was just like, hey, he has the highest percentage right now, let's make something happen. I don't know. It was very strange to take that mid-range shot on Derek White. Like, you weren't going to hit that. Defensively, he wasn't that great. Just watching the game, he wasn't that great. But with the guys that we have right now, undoubtedly he needs to play, right? And statistic-wise, like shooting-wise, he did fine. So there's that. Blake Wesley, once again, decent defensively, but you know, he didn't really have that much of an impact on this game. Keldon was playing better than Fasel and Sohan. I would say he was playing better than Fasel. I thought Sohan overall just was a little better. Like defensive wise, a lot of teams that I noticed, they kind of let Keldon get his, especially if he's going to be the main threat. They're like, okay, you know, we've had games like that before. Like, obviously, where certain players where you're like, okay, if that's the player that's hurting us, we're really not going to hurt. Like, we're going to win this game. You just don't want the others popping off, right? Like, you don't want Devin Fasel popping off. It's going to be really difficult for you to win that game if Devin is popping off. But you'll take Keldon, you know, getting some layups in or whatnot. And that's kind of how it felt. And when it came to the fourth quarter, they really closed in on him at the end. And, you know, put some real difficult defenders on him, and they couldn't really do anything. And defensive-wise, he just wasn't that great. But, I mean, overall, he was fine. He was fine. I won't say he was better than Sohan, right? Like, I think Sohan was really bringing the nasty. There was a lot of rebounds from Sohan that I thought was impressive. Like, a lot of offensive rebounds. 4 offensive rebounds. I didn't realize I had it right there. But there's no disrespect. I thought Keldon was one of the better players from tonight. And it's going to be hard, right? It's going to be hard going against the Celtics. You didn't really have that much of a shot of beating them. Biyombo not playing is crazy. That's crazy talk. I don't understand that. It's crazy talk. It's crazy talk. So I needed football pads. Man, they were knocking him all over the place, bro. And a helmet. They were playing him pretty hard. Sohan had highest plus minus. Oh, I didn't even notice that. I wasn't even looking at the plus minus. Yeah, he had the highest. Like I said, guys, I watch the games and I just tell you how it felt. You know, just watching it, paying attention, just how it felt. Sometimes it's not going to be in the immediate stats on how impressive they were, right? Like you could see here, and I say, guys, Sohan went 4 for 12 from that is not telling the full story. Like you had to watch the game. But yeah, he was getting beat up. And some of these, even some of these that he missed, as many times he went to the free throw line, they should have been called as well, right? And they did call a foul on Keldon that I thought was kind of wet. Like, Keldon did not foul. Who was it? Was it Sam Hosser? No, it wasn't Sam Hosser. He didn't go to the... Who was it? Was it Luke Cornett? It was really dumb, though. Shouldn't have happened. Yeah. Funny enough, you guys remember when I said... you remember when I said that, like, playoff caliber teams... Like, when I said that the San Antonio Spurs were running a rotation like we were in the playoffs, or that we were ramping up for the playoffs, this is what I mean. See, the Celtics, they didn't play that many players. Like, they played 8, and that's why it was so frustrating for me during this season when the Spurs were doing that, and we could have played Blake, and we could have played Malachi, and we could have, like, it was pretty frustrating. It's like, guys, we're not in the playoffs. We're not ramping up for the playoffs. It's early in the season. You play a little bit of everybody. I don't know. No Biz Menace is crazy. It's ridiculous. Stop the Sohan glaze. I'm going to be honest. I think he's really good. I think he's a true competitor. I'll be honest with it. I'm not going to stop praising him because if he has a bad game, I come in and I say, hey, he had a bad game. But, like, this is a player that we want on our squad. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? Same with Castle. He's a competitor. These are competitors. These are true competitors, all right? You want them. Keldon's a competitor, too. I think he just lacks a few things, but he does compete. No need to praise he was average. No, I thought he was above average for what we needed in his game. We just didn't bring enough overall. But I thought he was above average. I thought his defense was certainly above average. I thought that his rebounding was certainly above average for what we were getting. I thought that him forcing the defense to collapse was above average. I thought that his free throws were above average, like 10 for 12. It's crazy. Yeah, I thought he was good. And he was going against big man, right? Like, that's above average for somebody who's 6'8" to be able to do what he's doing. Sohan did what he could, but he was up against 7-footers all game with no help down low. Yeah, like, that's above average to me to be able to even compete and keep it competitive with the type of matchups he had during this game. It's above average. This is what I'm saying. You can't just look at it and say 4 for 12 and that's it. Like, that's not fair. He was definitely above average. Did you watch the game, bro? Defense matters and free throws too. Yeah, exactly. You gotta, he's not a game changer. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. But yeah, no, he was certainly above average. You can't just like say, are you scoring for me? Like, come on, bro. Come on. That's so silly. That's so silly. Which he was, but that's still silly. Silly argument. I got a question for you, Caps. I got a question for you. Do you feel like Derek White? How do you feel like Derek White did this game? Do you think that he was trash? I am curious. No glaze. Sohan is average. He did what he was supposed to do. Yeah, guys, you got to stop. But fans thought he was trash, which was not true. He's not an average. This is not just an average player. Okay. He just does things that is very hard to recognize the impact unless you're looking at advanced analytics, which we do all the time. Derek White knocked down shots. Did he? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. Derek White knocked down shots. This is what I mean. I don't think that you guys... I think that we have this inherent bias when it comes to our own team and not when it comes to the opposing team. Derek White shot 4 for 13. He went 3 for 12 from 3. If I said Sohan shot 4 for 12, you don't see the impact. You're like, oh, it didn't mean anything. Derek White shot 4 for 13. Derek White was a plus 10. That's a ridiculous argument. I'm sorry, bro. That's a ridiculous argument. We all know that plus minus is a team stat. It's impressive in and of itself that Sohan was a plus 2 while his teammates were negative 12 and negative 11, negative 12, negative 10. Like that, negative 5, negative 4. That is an accomplishment in and of itself because this is an overall team stat. That's not fair. That's silly. I guess Luke Cornett was just like better than everybody on the floor, right? Because he had a plus 21. Like, that's silly. Come on. You can't just use plus minus like that. That's such a silly thing to say. And that's not even what you That's not even what you said. You said he knocked down shots. That's what you said. You didn't say, oh, you didn't start off the argument with he had a +10. You said he knocked down shots. That's what you said about Derek White. He knocked down shots, but he knocked down less shots than Sohan. Or his percentage was worse. So what is it? Did he knock down shots? Or is it a little bit more nuanced, right? Because I would say Derek White had a good game, even though he shot horribly. I would say he had a good game. I thought his defense was great, and it's not showing up in the stat sheet. I thought that he had an immense impact. I thought that he had some really great rebounds, right? But he had 8 rebounds. Sohan had 8. I think it would be silly to say Derek White had a bad game. I think it would be very silly. But your argument was he knocked down shots. And he didn't. He did knock down shots. And he not only that, he played 10 more minutes than Sohan. He played 10 more minutes. So basketball is just a little bit more nuanced than just, oh, can you hit a 3 for me? That's silly. That's silly. Derek White had a good game, even though he shot poorly. There's more to basketball than just that. It's more in basketball than just the final stat sheet, right? And same thing with Sohan. To say he didn't do that well this game. Well, I just feel like you're not really paying attention, or you just have this inherent bias when it comes to your own team, which we all have somewhat of a bias, but it's a negative bias towards Sohan, really. He had a good game. You can't win in a blowout and be bragging about individual plus minus. Did you see the question I put in the chat? What? Question, Clan. If Sohan is still the same player on the offensive end in 4 or 5 years, would you still want him on the team? If he's the same, I would say if he's the same offensive player in 4 or 5, yes. I just think that we can't really have him as like he's not going to be like a go-to scorer or anything, and his role would probably have to change, probably come off the bench or something. But like offensively, he's pretty good. Like he's shooting over 50%, 33% from 3, right? He can get himself to the line. I wish he could do it more. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, he shoots well around the rim. He's a really good pick and roller. He's actually the best pick and roller in the NBA currently. He's third. He's still third. Tied with Jokic, I think, of the best pick and roll finishers in the NBA. So, would I still want him on the squad? Yeah, but I think that how much you pay him would be different, and I also think he will more than likely be coming off the bench. But yeah, I can see that. That would be fine. It's kind of like similar to Derek White, right? Like even when Derek White was super young with the Spurs, I think he was kind of an older rookie, but when he was younger with the Spurs, I really liked him. And even if he didn't grow at all, I was like, hey, at the end of the day, this would be a really good bench guy, right? It's the same thing. So maybe my affinity for him being, one of our top guys in the starting lineup, maybe that would change. But as far as what I still want him on the team, there's too much that he brings, especially on defensive end, for me to just be like, you didn't improve in shooting your 3-pointers, so I don't want you. Like there's more to basketball than that, Casper says Sohan has a skill set for an elite defender. If he improves 3-point shooting and continues to be aggressive in the paint, he's going to be Aaron Gordon or Draymond Green type player. Yeah, exactly. You always have a place for players like that. But yeah, so to answer your question, would I still want him on the team? Yes. Would I still want him as like one of our premier starters? No. I mean, you're going to have to improve. And that would be the same case for Castle as well, right? Like, let's say Castle has minimal improvements on the offensive end. Everything that he brings right now, his package, I think is actually good. He has to get better, right? But his package as it stands right now is good enough for him at least being on the bench and you getting some valuable minutes from his defense alone. So like even if he stayed the exact same offensively right now, straight line, I think he does bring enough defensively that you could have him on the bench, right? So it's the same thing. I feel like that would every play. Well, not every player. Like Devin Vassell, I'm just going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say lenient, but I'm going to be a little bit more patient when it comes to him. But if his offensive stuff doesn't improve, yeah, he got to go. Because I think that's his main thing that he brings to the table is his offense. Whereas some other teams or other players, they bring other things that aren't even there. Like when the Spurs got Sohan, guys, they didn't have the thought that, oh my goodness, he's going to be a phenomenal offensive player. Same thing with Castle. When they got Castle, they didn't have the thought, oh, he's going to be a phenomenal offensive player. The reason they got these players was mostly due to their defense and their upside, but mostly their defense, right? The versatility of Sohan and being able to put him in different situations and have him guard multiple positions. And then Steph Castle, his basketball IQ, along with being a point of attack defender. Like, that's why they grabbed these two players. And if that's the reason that you grab players, I think it's a little silly to then say they have no spot in this roster if they can't be elite offensive players, right? Like, that's kind of crazy to me. Casper, Aaron Gordon is a great three-point shooter. Sohan will never be that. My guy, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are just biased, bro. I also noticed that Tavarius went away when I mentioned the whole Derek White shot 4 for 13 after you said, well, he had a better offensive game. Well, he knocked down his shots, unlike Sohan, when he went 4 for 13. But that's a bias. You don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm not trying to be like mean, but you don't know what you're talking about. Hold on, let me bring up Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is a career 33% three-point shooter. Starting off his career, he was 27%, and then he was 30, and then he was, well, 29.6, but he was 30, and then he was 29, or 28.8, and then he was 33, and then he was 35, which is really good. Then he was 30, and then he was 37, then he was 26, and then he was 33. What are you even talking about? This season, he's 46, which is crazy. Season prior, 29. He's been up and down his entire career as far as three-point shooting. And not only that, Sohan's in his third year, and he's shooting better than Aaron Gordon did his third year. He's shooting as well as Aaron Gordon did in his fourth year. You literally, well, I know he's shooting more. He is shooting more. I will say that. That will probably be the argument to bring up. He did shoot more his fourth year. But he's been up and down his entire career. So to just make the blatant statement that he'll never be able to reach that, based on what? Based on what? And guess what? Even field goal percentage, Aaron Gordon didn't reach Sohan's field goal percentage until his first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th year in the NBA. 10th year in the NBA is when he was able to reach Sohan's field goal percentage. You're just hating, bro. You're just hating. You just admit, okay, I didn't recognize that. Like, I didn't know. His shot looks horrible. It matters how it looks. Wow, it matters how it looks. That's your argument. That is great. Thank you. Thank you for contributing to the discussion on how good of a shooter Aaron Gordon is versus Sohan, and if Sohan would be able to reach Aaron Gordon. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is a great, what a great analysis. It matters how it looks. Thank you. You think I care? I don't care. I don't care if Wemby went out there and started shooting or granny shots, okay, from the free throw line. I don't care if he takes the ball and does a granny shot. He does a granny. You think I care? It matters how it looks. You think I care? It's vibes, bro. It's just vibes. You said mechanics, bro. It's just vibes. You just vibe better with a certain jump shot. Mechanics are important. Obviously, mechanics are important, but every single player in the NBA shoots slightly different from one another. Everybody has a different jump shot. Everybody has a different physical makeup in which how they shoot, right? Everybody. It's typically harder for big men to have really great 3-point shots due to their, hand size. So everyone has to shoot slightly different. It's very silly for me to bring up these stats for you to say, look, let's go back to your initial comment. Your comment was Sohan will never be able to reach Aaron Gordon's shooting. And I went to the statistics and you can see that Aaron Gordon didn't shoot Sohan's percentage until his 4th year in the NBA. He didn't even shoot Sohan's field goal percentage until his 10th year in the NBA. So I don't understand. We're looking at the numbers here. What is it based on the numbers, the facts, not the feelings, the facts, to say that Sohan will not be able to reach that goal? What is it? Goalpost moved? It got moved all the way to another field, bro. I hate how we come in here every day and glaze Sohan. This is what I'm talking about. You just don't like him. That's okay. Just come in and say, you know what? I don't like the color of his hair. It pisses me off. It really bothers me that everyone likes this guy. I don't like him. Because if we're talking about the numbers and we're talking about the stats, my friend, it's not on your side. If we're talking about the facts, it's not on your side. It's just your feelings. You think I care that Sohan shoots his free throw percent or his free throws with one hand? You think I care? I don't care. And all those great Aaron Gordon mechanics, last year he shot 65.8% from the free throw line, which with his all those great mechanics was worse than Sohan's. Year before that, 60.8%. All those great mechanics, worse than Sohan's. So what are we even talking about? Why do we care again? Why do we care? Why does it matter? He's average. You just don't like him, bro. It's okay. You just don't like him. You wouldn't say Aaron Gordon is average, even though I could bring up stats and show you right here that, as far as what he's bringing is the same. Actually, there's literally a website you can go to see the impact. And we went over it before, to see the impact of certain players. And Aaron Gordon's impact is significantly lower than what Sohan's is. And I think every area. Was it every area? I don't know if any of you guys in the chat was here for that. It might be every area. I don't remember actually. It was in a lot of areas that was more impactful though. I can't remember though. That was a while ago. Aaron Gordon is slightly above average. Okay. Caps. These are all feelings. All right. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. Let me say this because I probably need to reiterate this. When I say that Sohan is above average, I'm not basing it off my feelings. I literally do look at the advanced analytics defensively in particularly to see that he is better than average. Like he's literally like a top 10 defensive player in the NBA. Anybody that's top 10 in defensive or as a defensive player in the NBA automatically goes above average. Statistic wise, you're above average than the average player. If half of the game, that's it. It's very important. Half the game you're on defense, right? If half of the game you're top 10 in your profession, you're going to be above average. And then offensively, if you want to say he's offensively average, I don't think I disagree with that. I think that we would probably look at the numbers and see like, yeah, he's pretty average. Now, certain aspects of his offensive game, he's top in the league. But yeah, I think you could say offensively, he might be a little average. But if you're average offensively and you're elite defensively, how are you average? if you're average offensively and you're elite defensively, how does that how are the numbers numbering, right? You're above average. You know what I mean? So then as a team and coaching staff, the team isn't utilizing him correctly, then it is what it is, Clan. No, I think the coaching staff have been utilizing him correctly. I mean, you're correct. You're using him the best of your ability right now. You just don't have a, last season you had him in different positions. This season, he has to guard big man, unfortunately. I don't think it's really. Clan, be careful when using advanced stats on Jeremy because some weaker defenders have better. What are we talking about? As in what? I'm not just talking about defensive rating, right? I mean, obviously, if you talk about defensive rating, that's, kind of more so a team stat. I was talking about isolation defense. What was the other? It was quite a few things that we looked at. Because it was top 10 there, and all the players in that top 10 are elite defenders. Like, it wasn't like an outlier, right? I know what you're saying. Because, like, certain stats you'll look at, and you're like, he's top 3 in this, right? Like, a player would be top 3 in something, and then you have, like, some Joe that's like, why is he on this list? He barely plays. It was based on X amount of possessions. Like, you had to have this amount of possessions, and everybody on that list were elite. Like, they were really good. Like, I think Dyson Daniels was like a couple under Sohan, or maybe a couple higher than Sohan or something like that. Like, I remember him being on that list. There was one list at some point in the season that Castle was on with Sohan defensively. I can't remember, though. I really need to just have like a document of all these things. Sohan also has super good chemistry with Wemby, which is important for fit this team going forward. Yeah, even personality wise, like off the court, I think they have really great chemistry too. Wemby to Sohan was his most common assist this season before going out. Yeah, makes it really easier for him for sure. I saw some people like trying to put the cart before the horse, right? Like kind of using a logical fallacy here where they're like, oh, well, Wemby, he's not shooting points in the paint because Sohan's in there. And it's like, no, that's not true. Wemby prefers outside shots. He's preferred outside shots since we got him. Regardless of who's out there. I mean, I was paying attention. It's like, let me see what happens when Sohan isn't out there. He takes even harder shots, even more difficult shots. So, that's Caps that you just bringing up. You said, I don't hate Sohan. You don't like him. You have this inherent bias because you said, I don't hate Sohan. Honestly, he just wasn't the right pick for the team. Duren was, and I'll never forget it. You wanted Duren. Okay? Look, man. Let's take it away from all this. Because I could tell you why, like many reasons why I preferred Sohan in that draft, right? I think it just made sense. Especially you weren't guaranteed to even get Wemby. You get the guy that has the most potential. I still think Sohan has more potential, as far as the versatility and how you can utilize them versus Duren. But even we take that away, this is our guy, bro. This is our guy. Do you think I sit around, like, take it away from Sohan for a minute. I don't sit around and jump on here and play hindsight and say, guys, I really wish we would have got Halliburton instead of Vassell. Everyone wishes they would have gotten Halliburton. So there's so many seasons or so many teams. Like, we get it right way more often than any other team. Like, if you go and you look at some of the drafting of other teams, we're one of the top teams as far as how often we get it right. Or we at least get a player that lasts in the NBA. There's so many teams that get players in the first round. They just don't last at all. Like, maybe a couple seasons, 3 seasons, you never hear from them again. So I just don't like to play this hindsight and say, we could have got this player. We should have got this. We should have got this. Like, we got what's working for us, right? And just because, you didn't get, I don't know, Şengün or whatever, doesn't mean that the players that you do get, well, actually, that does mean it for that draft because that was Primo didn't work out. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the player that you do get, you can't win championships with, that you won't become a dynasty with, right? Like the Spurs were close to getting Jason Kidd, right, and getting rid of Tony Parker. And if you believe Jason Kidd's a better player than Tony Parker, does it matter? You still had a dynasty. You still won games, right? It doesn't matter. If you're talented enough, if you gel with the team enough, we can still create a dynasty. I wouldn't just sit back and like think about Duran all the time. Who cares? Screw them. They're the enemy right now, right? We're fine. They're not us. We'll be all right. That's our boy. Sohan's our boy, all right? Take care of our boy. I complain about Keldon all the time, but you know what? Keldon is still my boy. The same way you feel about Keldon, the same thing I feel about Sohan. Keldon's still my boy, all right? He's still my boy. He's still mine. Even though I don't necessarily believe in a lot, he's still mine. He's still my boy. I don't sit back and be like, man, I wish we could have got this player over Keldon. That's what we should have done. I don't hold that over Keldon. Like, I don't hold that on Keldon. I look at what Keldon brings, what I see, and then that's how I feel about it. I don't think back on who we could have had ahead instead of Keldon. I don't care. I don't care. I will say this, though. The Spurs could, and it was RC Buford's fault, but the Spurs could have got Keldon earlier than they did. They probably should have. You be dry hating KJ clan. I don't care for Keldon's game, but he's still ours. He's still ours, okay? I'll wait and see what the Spurs decide to do, but if he stays with us, I mean, they were really close to trading him. The only reason he didn't get traded was because of the Luka situation. After that Luka situation, yeah, it made it really difficult. It made it really difficult on the Kings. What they gonna do? If the Spurs are like, yeah, we're not giving you Keldon now. We're not giving you anything. We're going to give you actually pennies. Did you just see what they just gave up for Luka? Like, yeah, you're not. That's why he's still on the team. Some people were like, aren't you disappointed they didn't trade? I was like, why would I be disappointed that we traded for less? You know, like, that's so silly. It was quite a few people like, I know Clan's upset Keldon didn't get traded. Why would I be upset that we traded for less? Are you serious? That would have made the trade better if we also gave up Keldon? Screw that. Are you joking? Heck no. We gave up less. I was so hyped when we kept basically everyone. It's crazy. What's the source on Keldon being so close to getting traded at this point? I feel like they genuinely want to keep him. We heard this for years and he's still out there. I'll be honest with you, Clayton. It's probably something I shouldn't have said. I'll leave it that. I probably shouldn't have said that. I just know. But if you want to take it off of based on, I don't know. Shoot, I don't know. I guess we can taste it. Let's base it on Fifi's. We'll base it on Fifi's. Leaker. Yeah, sorry. Let's base it on Fifi's. Keldon Johnson. Go back and watch his post games the week of the Fox trade. There we go. Do that. Go look at Keldon Johnson's body language post game press conferences the week of the trade. Actually, a couple weeks before the trade, leading up to the trade. It was pretty bad. Only Clan can hate on the guy I can't. I'm just being honest with you, man. Just being honest. Keldon is average, but his competitiveness, his energy is above average. I don't know how you quantify that, but his energy is above average. Keldon was gonna cry. It was pretty bad, bro. You been hating what you mean on Keldon? I guess so. I still love him though. Wemby, Castle, Sohan is crazy defense trio when they hopefully gel. I think I feel like they've been gelling pretty decent this season. Yeah, I think they've been gelling pretty decent. What's that? Was there a question I missed? Oh, will Harrison Barnes be a Spur next year? I have no clue, bro. Maybe. I don't know. I think the Spurs, I just always seen him, like I love him being with the team. They're probably going to try to keep him only because they've tried to get Harrison Barnes for so long. So they'll probably keep him for another season. But we all know he's a placeholder, right? Like, we all know he's a player. I'm fine with him staying, especially if they move off of Chris Paul, which I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. But if they move off of Chris Paul, I would definitely keep Barnes. Just keep that veteran there. I don't think Chris Paul will be there next year. Yeah, probably not. I was at the game. Too many bandwagon Celtics fans. Does Celtics have bandwagon fans? I mean, I know the Lakers do for sure. Do Celtics have those? I always thought Lakers were pretty bandwagon. All right, guys, I want to go over something. Because we play tomorrow, so that's fine. Hold on. All right. Yeah, so let's look at this. So Poppin'. So first off, chat, do any of you guys play Marvel Rivals? All right, I freaking love this game. Almost cursed. I love this game so much. Do any of you guys play? Freaking love this game, bro. I guess no one plays it. Lost my voice trying to cheer for the Spurs. Aw, that's sad. Cooper Flag coming home. That would be nice. Wait, is Duke playing right now? Wait, no, it's too late. They're not playing right now, are they? Is it? They're playing right now? What's the score? Yeah, Rivals is great. It's so good, bro. Oh, they won. Okay. Oh, my God. They beat down Alabama. All right. So they're going to... What is this now, guys? The Final Four? They're going to the Final Four? Okay. I got to watch it. I got to actually watch the Final Four. Okay, cool. So we got a few people that play Marvel Rivals. So big shout out to Poppin' Often. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and post his channel in the chat. So there's Poppin' Often. If you guys want to follow him, he does a really great job of going over gameplays, giving feedback and everything. And I actually sent in, because I became a member of his because I really like his content. I think he's pretty cool. But I sent in a video for him to go over, and I wanted to take a look at it, right? So this is, in this gameplay, hold on, let me go ahead and go back.
Hey, Poppin', I was wondering if...
Here, let me, and I need to put this on my headphones. Oh, that looks bad. Hold on. Let me, that's not it. Okay, let's try to make it a little smaller. Give me a second. There we go. All right. So, shoot. Hold on. Actually, that's not great either. All right, we gotta do it a little different. All right, we'll do it like that. There we go. All right, so like I said, I sent him in something for him to take a look at, and I definitely wanted to go over it because this game in particular, this is a while ago, by the way. Like, I sent this maybe like a month ago, and since then I've become much better. So one thing that I'm interested in, because I barely remember this gameplay. The only thing I remember is making 2 good plays. Like, I remember playing with a really good team. They were randoms. And when I realized that they were a really good team, I kind of played a little bit more passive, and I was just waiting for the opportunity to like help them, right? Like to give them more fights. That's the only thing that I recall. So this will be interesting to go over. So yeah, but basically this is what I said. My team did awesome, and once I realized how good they were, I stopped being as aggressive and tried my best to balance aggression with assisting and extending the fight. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So if you have any advice on that as well, it will be awesome. For context, I'm a cap main, but personally solo kill, blah blah blah. All right, let's see.
If you could take a look at this Grandmaster game and see if there was anything I could have done better. I want to help with, I want help with target priority, playing off.
Can I skip?
Off being as a, if you have, highlighted comment down below with the information that I'm asking for.
This will be fun.
The review. If you are a member, you do have priority, so you'll get your review done first. Speaking of members, this player is a member.
I am a member.
Spurs, thank you for being a member. Thank you for helping to support the channel. You and along with the other members are the reason why we can do this. Also, side note, this player is now Celestial. So I know I'm late. I'm sorry, Spurs. Forgive me. I apologize, but we're here now.
This is a long time ago. This gameplay is from a long time ago. This is like early 1.5 season.
So we're going to take a look at this game, and we're going to see how we could have played better, if we could have played better. And as you said, yeah, you definitely could not get away with a lot that you would with divers.
I think one thing that's going to be interesting. Okay, I don't want to just skip over and over. By the way, why did I have this as a crosshair? Yeah, I've changed it too. Everything's different. Even my settings as far as because I think in this game my sensitivity it's always high, but I had it on S curve, which made everything more jumpy, which made it more difficult for me to see what was going on when I hit people or whatnot. So it was pretty rough. But I'm gonna try to see what I did wrong before he even says it. I think that'll be cool.
So let's go. Here we go. Let's do it. Nice cap skin. Respect. So we have a Storm on our team, a Rocket, a Star-Lord, a Mantis, and the Thing. One thing to note whenever you're playing a dive character like Captain, the Hulk, or anything like that is you really want to pay attention to who your healers are, because if they have a hard time aiming at you, you need to adjust your play accordingly. When you have a Rocket, this basically lets me know I can do whatever I want because they will always heal you no matter where you are. But if you have like a Luna Snow or something like that, then you really have to be more mindful about where you're standing, how long you're standing there, and etc. so you can get your heals.
And I was definitely, I think in this match, from what I remember, I was really respecting my opponent because in higher elos, they have better aim. I don't know if this team was actually as good as I was giving them credit for. I'm not sure. But when I had a Rocket and a Mantis, like, he's completely right. Yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want. But with the Mantis, because, well, both of them actually, because the heals aren't very burst-like, I think I was a little bit more reserved. I don't know.
Always something to think about when you are playing
get off that
characters.
Get off that. She died.
So we're going up here. We're doing our best to just kind of take fights without being too in the area of vision. Now we're just kind of jumping around.
I think, hold on. Okay, I think, you see, I got to 330. See, I wouldn't do this now. See, what I would do now is I would try to stay on their mind, right? Like, now what I would do, because I don't know why I went back. I didn't have to go back. I would have, because, yeah, the Thing hooked me up. I didn't realize he hooked me up with the Thing. What's up, VGJE? I'm actually going over gameplay. He's actually going over my gameplay. So it's my react to his react. What I would have done is go back here and kind of stay on their mind a little bit. I don't know why I went back. I wouldn't do that now.
Area of vision. Now we're just kind of jumping around. Now we're just kind of jumping around, and as you just said, extending fights. I don't really like you running back. This is something where, if you're a cap main, though, I would assume you're very good at it. But this is something you want to think about in two ways. One, you should know how long you have before you need to run away. And if you do need to run away, think about the health packs. There's one right there, and then there's also
yeah. Like I said, this game I would have went back. I wouldn't have. I would have just stayed on their mind. I don't. That wasn't a good idea.
One down here around the corner. So
dude just playing around, seeing what's going on.
In my opinion, if you can, like if it's better, go for the health pack instead of going back to your team. When you go back to your team, what you're doing is saying, hey, healers, use resources on me instead of resources on whatever you're currently doing right now. If they can't heal you at that moment, you're effectively just useless the entire fight.
Facts.
If they can heal you, it takes their attention away and it can cause them to get picked or someone else to get picked. So that's the first thing.
Facts.
Try to go to health packs if possible, more often than not. Pay attention to how long you can survive. The other thing is the fact that we just left this guy in here by himself. If you're going to disengage, you need to disengage at proper times.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even recognize. Yeah, like I said, because he had the... Dang, that's so true. Because I need to be at least around him so he could jump to me again. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I need to be more aware. I need to be more aware because I didn't even notice that just watching it. Because like I said, I had that he hooked me up, but I didn't even realize he was there. It was happening too fast.
And leave the fight and then have everybody else down a player. You know
True.
what I mean? So if we were to redo this,
stay in the back.
Kind of have this
he did that.
replay out, right? What we would do is we would go down like you just did. You're still relatively healthy, but instead of going that far, you're honestly...
See, I didn't realize... Okay. So what I saw was the other thing. I didn't know that my thing dived in. Yeah, I got to be more aware of that. I had more time.
Could have just taken a quick turn and grabbed that health pack real quick.
Yeah,
if you really wanted to.
He's right.
Or as you were moving here, just dash yourself in here, jump up there,
stay on their mind,
throw your shield, let people know, hey, I'm here. You don't need to jump down yet, but just kind of be like distraction, and then go back in when you can, when things stabilize a little bit more. That way, at least you're still holding aggro, because if you jump through here, they're like, where did Cap go? Somebody's gonna look at you for a few seconds, and then when you're up here and you have a shield,
see, that's what I would do now.
Still behind them, and they have to pay attention.
That's
to
so
you.
True.
When you jump back to where you were.
That's
like,
bad.
Oh, he's back in this team. Everybody's all in front of me. I don't have to care. I don't have to like care about anything other than what's in front of me. So then you go back in with basically the same amount of HP that you had before, which means you didn't really have to do what you did. You just took yourself out of the fight for no reason. Typical Cap things. When people are out of position, you get to clean up on it. This isn't really something you're gonna be able to do if you want to hit Eternity. Once you get a little bit above Celestial, you'll notice that players don't split up as much. And
I'm gonna say this, dude, in Celestial, yeah, they don't. I think in this game, even in Grandmaster at that point, because a lot of the Grandmaster players from this are now in Celestial, I had quite a few games where I didn't get away with any of that, right? Like, I just didn't. So that's what made me more, like, hesitant. Even in this game, I think. It's because I usually can't get away with it. So, but that was me. I dived in, got a vibe, and then I was like, okay, I think I can take advantage of y'all.
Captain
He's right, though.
Becomes ineffective.
He's right.
You can still play him, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot harder to play him without comps.
That's the boost I needed.
So we're just chilling, we're waiting, per usual. Nothing crazy about that. If you can, just try to push out. I know you had no HP, but just in general, try to walk out so you stall them a little bit longer so they don't just walk and recapture point or anything like that.
Yeah.
Going forward, getting more pressure. You're taking a fight with this guy, which is perfectly fine. I would do the same thing. That way you're also making them turn and look at you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come here. Come here.
It's a little bit too deep. I would have stopped. Again, when you do things like this, you're taking yourself out of the fight. Now, there is no fight happening now, but that doesn't mean I don't want you to be mindful about it. One thing I don't like to do is, I'll just use the word coach because I guess that's what I'm doing, right? I don't want to coach players for situations that only happen in their game. I want to coach you for the future, for games where players are better, for games where people understand your kit, understand how you play, stuff like that. When they see you walk out like that, they're going to take advantage of it and take over the fight. And so it might not be in this particular game because of how everybody's spread out.
Man, it's such a tough thing, right? It's so tough. Because in this game, yeah, I could take advantage of a lot because this team, I was just like, wow, we can kind of steamroll them. So I was taking more chances, but I don't in other games. Gosh, I don't know if he would go over another one, but like everything he's saying is completely true. I noticed it in Celestial. Like you gotta be careful, man. This team in particular, I was like, wow, my team's really good. So I was like, let's just kind of bully him a little bit. He's right though.
Out and things like that, but you really do want to think about as a dive character, even if you are a DPS, like if you're taking yourself out the fight and they notice that, you could just wipe. It's that simple sometimes. So if you are gonna chase, don't have them drag you too far away.
Yeah, he's right. And then I'm like,
you're going deeper, you're trying to stagger their timers. Well, I don't know if that's what you're doing, but it's a good thing to try to stagger their timers.
Missed it right there. So.
You could definitely make that jump. Just jump on this ledge and you'll make that hop. Also, just side note here too, you knew where she was going. There was kind of no reason to just stay put. When you're playing captain, you always want to move. There's no, you should never be sitting. Move. Pressure. You can even turn around and just hit this guy. Like, you never want to just be stopped.
He's right. I gotten so much better, I promise. He's so right. It's like go from this thing to this thing, this thing to this thing. I think I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I thought maybe she had got away at that point. I don't know.
And then you could chase her through the smoke. She's gonna either continue to go here, in which case you KO because that's free, or she drops back down, in which case your team KOs, and you have a free KO before Thor even arrives.
Facts. I think I can't see my freaking arrives. Okay. That's what it is. Like I mentioned, my freaking camera, because I had it on S curve. So at least from my eyes, I don't know, maybe it's just I can't see that well. I was all over the place. Like, it was so jumpy. I'm all over the place and I couldn't keep up with anyone. Now it's not like that. Now I can keep up pretty easily. But he's right. Even if I couldn't keep up, I could have went back, hit on him, jump over here, jump over there. Like, he's right. But like, I think in this game, yeah, that's the mechanic part of it where because I completely lost her. Because let me see. Because like, she's there. And then I lost her. It's like I saw her, and I'm like, okay, she's right here, and she's not there.
Now, Thor
where the heck did she go?
Arrives. Luckily, your Star-Lord was able to ult, but like that could have been ugly. Don't bother fighting this. Just close this off by hitting this.
Oh wait, I think I do, my friend. Hold on, I have to. I know I do.
What you also do is close it off.
I think I do.
And distract him for a little bit, and then just hop over it.
If I don't do it, I'm stupid. If I don't do it, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm stupid.
What you're doing is allowing them to come in. If you close that, you're able to stagger. I mean, it looks like they closed it themselves, but...
Oh, wait. Did I close it? I always close it now. Did I not close it?
He can hop over the wall. What you're doing is allowing them to
I did close it.
If you
I don't know.
Close that, you're able to stagger. I mean, it looks like they closed it themselves.
Or maybe I heard it close.
If you close that, they stagger. Just like what she's doing right now, you could just KO this. But you didn't even plan it. If you would have planned it, you would have been able to close her off and she just KO'd right then and there. And you would have set that all up for your team and you would have been winning doing nothing, basically.
Yeah, he's right.
Just because you staggered.
Who's Con Napel? I don't think I've seen that player. Who does he play for, Brendan?
You back up and then you go back in, and the timing
like so
isn't
ugly.
really that great because you're basically saying, hey guys, I'm engaging when you're ready. They're all grouped, they're all ready, their cooldowns are down, and then you engage. Instead of doing something when they are not together, when they have their cooldowns wasted, that's when you want to go.
Yeah, it's
Popping your ult, not really sure you had to. It sounded like you just popped it because
I think I popped it. I think I popped it just so we could steamroll them again. But I'm not sure. Who just died there? Thor died there. I popped it so we could just steamroll them. But he's right. I mean, I didn't have to. But I did it just so we can be even more aggro. I don't know. I think it was just the vibes of the game. Tyrese Proctor is a stud. Duke played next to Flag. Oh, okay. Duke, okay. I'm gonna pay attention. He's probably the best shooter in the draft. Is that who you want? Who do you guys want?
As the thing popped his ult, I think you could have waited. You could have done what you're doing now without your ult activated.
Well, he also forced an ult, I
When you
guess.
are in Cloak and Dagger's ult, just continuously jump. It will minimize the damage. You won't take damage when you're in the air. I mean, you will depending on what character you are, but he jumps so high that you don't take damage. I do like this, but I don't at the same time.
What's up?
It seems like a very nitpicky, but you're in a rank that's like really high, so you need to be nitpicked.
Go for it.
You guys probably realize this. The higher the rank the player is that I'm reviewing, the more...
It's so nitpicky. It is nitpicky, but he's right. He's right. You got to get back because it's going to be like these small things that lose matches in higher ranks.
The more that I will constructively criticize. So when you're playing Cap, be aware that when you hit twice, you throw. You don't need to be in this guy's face anymore. Imagine there's someone right here coming around this corner, which there's not, but you don't know this because you can't see, and they're waiting for you, and he's leading you into the corner, which there's not. But I think I did know that. I think I knew that because of the stagger, or I think I was paying attention to that because Thor. I don't know how many seconds it had been. I think I kept up with it. You might be right though. But yeah, he's right. Oh no, this because you can't see, and they're waiting for you, and he's leading you. That is nitpicky. And I don't know, they somehow get you and trap you, right? Don't do that. You could just back off now. Don't go back super far, but just don't chase as hard as you are right now. And just popping, it's a mental game. Okay, I'm trying to get in his face. I want him to feel the pressure, right? I want him to feel it. For your shield, you could do everything that you're doing right now. From where Celtics pop, he could throw. Right? So, I want to see his perspective. Or you can make your way back to what you were doing while attacking him at the same time. Like you can move and attack towards where you're going while still popping him with the shield. I honestly wouldn't go this way though. I'd go this way, distract a little bit, break the wall, hop over the wall, and again do what I just explained you could do 2 minutes ago. Yeah, he's right. I think I do it. Do I not do it? I haven't checked to see if I was recording. If I wasn't recording, I was gonna be so sad. Okay. Again, it's the same concept. It's like you want them to regroup. Why didn't I do it here? Dude, I swear, like I've played so many matches at this point. It's like guaranteed that I close that. I don't know what I'm doing. Trash. Right? I'm playing trash towards your team. If you're gonna run away, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying going to your team is a bad thing because it's not. But you want to weigh the pros and cons. There's a health pack in there. 34. If you go here, there's a health pack right there. So you could just fool around with them, come this way, make them look at you while they're doing whatever, and it draws away the ability for them to regroup as a team, especially on Mantis ult. Yeah, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, bro. Terrible. Because now they're all grouped and we have to play a 6v6. The best fights to take in any game that's a team game is advantage fights. Like whenever the advantage is on your side, you take those fights. But every single fight that you try to like go to is a 6v6. It's like you're allowing these guys to play. Yeah, he's right. I could have stopped that whole thing. And this is stuff that you really want to understand because if you're not playing Cap, these are things that you would struggle on. And it's not just you. A lot of players that tend to play dive characters, when presented with macro level type gameplay knowledge necessary to accomplish a goal. Sorry, I'm reading this comic. Khan's a really smart 3-point shooter, plays without the ball very well, can do some tertiary creation, knows where to be on defense. Do you want him? That's what I'm asking. Where is he, Brendan? Where is he listed? Like where is he projected? They kind of fluster. They end up in a situation where it's like, I don't really know how to deal with this because I'm not used to being so slow. I'm not used to not being able to instantly go. I became way more like I said, in this game, I was super passive, man. I'm usually not like that. Cons D will be a problem if we draft him. Are you okay now? Okay, I know I'm sound like a foreigner of the English language. Are we saying a problem like good or problem like bad? I think he's top 8 projected. Oh, so we could definitely get him. Well, more than likely. Okay. Where I want to go, Stuff like this is what causes it. You want to have an advantage before you force a fight.
I trusted, like I had too much respect for the opponents too, but he's right. And I think I was waiting for an ult. I think that was another thing too, that I glanced because they can't show it in the replay. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I was waiting for an ult. I think I saw that Sky had his, and what's the name? Storm had hers. So I was just kind of like, okay, they're pushing in pretty hard. Let's back it up, regroup, and do our thing. But he's completely right. Like I could have, we could have kept moving that thing. I should have been more annoying. I was so passive in this game. Go Spurs, go for show.
Like, I don't really know how to deal with this because I'm not used to being so slow. I'm not
going over the Mitch post game.
Not being able to instantly go where I want to go.
I'm literally watching. I'm literally watching someone go over my gameplay right now. I'm not doing that.
This is what causes it. You want to have an advantage before you force a fight if possible.
Yeah, he's right.
I like this. Right, we're going in because we're splitting them up. The fight was taking place. You got to pick. Perfect. Go over there. I think you're about to do it, but go over there to the left. No.
For what?
Be more aggressive when it comes to holding.
Oh, just holding my. I got you. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
These choke points to prevent them from coming back and attacking your team. Even if they get through on one side, you're still holding a few players, which allows your team to play. If there's 6 of you guys here and we're full HP, right?
Didn't we wipe the team though? Oh, it's They really staggered for real.
And you run here.
Look at them stagger, dog.
And you block 2. Well, then that's a 5v4, and that's still really good. And you're not even doing anything but just sitting there. Should they ignore you, you probably KO whoever's the one staggering behind. Like even right here, you could have just sat here, waited for someone to walk by, like her. She wouldn't pay attention. Boom, boom, hit her. Or you would have stopped
such a weird game from me.
Or she would have just went, and then you just block the rest of them off by just hitting that and then fighting. Like
7 to 9 range. If the Spurs don't move up, he's my number 1 choice for the Spurs there. Noel Queen Johnson. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to you, Brandon. When we start getting into the draft stuff, I'm gonna have to talk to you, my friend.
There's a lot more you could have done.
He's right.
These type of things are what allows you to carry games when people are not great. As you said, your team was pretty decent here, but if your team isn't that great, how do you win these type of games? By doing those little small things that present your team.
Because I'm gonna be real with you. For this game, I was thinking, okay, like, because a lot of games I am uber aggressive, and in this game in particular, I'm looking at all of our ults. Just from what I remember, 'cause this is a while ago, I was like, wow, I got a really good team here. My best ability is just to not die, like just sustainability. But he's completely right. Like it made it even harder than it had to be. Like I could have kept that same amount of aggression, and been totally fine, right? Like didn't really matter. Yeah. Team's really good, bro.
You kind of went in there really for no reason. When you go in, have a reason, have an understanding of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, just messing with him.
You know,
I think I was just
going out when you need to go out. Didn't need to run that far away. You're doing the thing again where you just like leave your entire team. Just block her ult.
I think I was looking for Storm. Or
not
Storm.
All the time, obviously. Don't sit there and block it, but. Nice.
Thanks, my man.
Okay, so in this situation, your whole entire team's here, right? He's low, but you know, for the most part, your whole entire team's here. Walk a little bit further back.
Yeah, because I'm not going to do anything with them.
Where is she going to fly to?
And I already have my
two smacks off. By the time she gets to going high enough where you can't reach her, hit her with the rest
of
your...
my... Dude, if Poppin sees this, I'll be so happy. One of my biggest issues that I have, or not issues, but habits that I have, bad habits, is that I don't go further out. Like, I will stay at who's closer to me and not go further out. And I think that I just now started to improve that. Like, if there's somebody behind that's lagging behind, like Storm here, that I should go and extend out. Like I do that with healers too. Like I'll hit the healer that's closest to me rather than the one that's behind the other one, because the one that I'm hitting is getting healed from the one that's behind them. So I should just go after the one behind them. So I don't know. This game is so much fun.
Projectile shield. Throw your real shield.
CB3 likes Derek. Who? Maybe it's a reason to draft him. Okay, I got to look at these draft picks more, man. It's a deep draft, isn't it?
You know, the ricochet shield part. That's not part of your primary attack. I forgot the skill. And then you would KO her before she even left spawn, which staggered the timer.
Did I use mine?
Because realistically, what are you going to do here? Mantis just ulted.
Nothing. And I'm getting nothing out of it too, because, well, I guess I'm like absorbing some damage from for the thing, I guess. But I'm not going to get anything out of this because I got my ult already. So, and I'm not going to use my ult here, I don't think.
Every single minute. Think about what else you can be doing that's probably more valuable than what you're doing now, and you're going to realize how much easier it is to win a lot of these fights.
Right.
Feel the wrath of the god. Yo, that invisible woman just trolled that ult. What? Yeah, she kind of trolled that ult. Okay, so they were able to regain composure. Why? Because the storm just said, feel the wrath of the goddess. Why did she do that? Because you allowed her to come out of base. You didn't allow her to come out of base.
Yeah.
Right now.
Facts, bro.
You would have won right there.
True.
We're going back in. Doing our thing.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I was proud of this ult that I used. All right. I was proud of this ult that I used. I waited because he's sped up, so you can't really tell. But, like, I waited for my team to get here, took the natural cover, and I said, all right, let's pop this bad boy.
Why? Because the storm just said, feel the wrath of the goddess. Why did she do that? Because you allowed her to come out of base.
True.
You didn't allow her to come out of base. She'd be KO'd right now. She wouldn't have been able to ult. You would have won right there.
True.
We're going back in. Doing our thing. Good block. How did your team KO there? Yeah, at this point, just dip. You're not doing anything. Just run away. Yep. Very good. Yeah, situations.
How did they die?
You would have won right there. We're going back in. Doing our thing. Good block. How did your team KO there? Yeah, at this point, just dip. You're not doing anything. Just run away. Yep. Very good. Yeah, situations like that, when the fight's over, the fight's over. You can't really do anything about it. Nice. Cool. Now you kind of do it.
Yeah, I should have been more aggressive.
Doing anything. You're just
I should have been more aggressive.
Now,
sure enough, I think I get this opportunity again, and I get a little bit more aggro. He's right though.
Just getting ready to walk past you, you need to start fighting. You want them to be like, oh crap, he's hitting me.
Yeah.
You know what? Just stand there with your shield and like, I'm just trying to block you. Well, it's obvious you're trying to block them. You know.
Yeah, he's right.
Start fighting them.
Beat him up.
Be good. But what if I die there? Well, I mean, what if I KO there? Well, your team wins.
Oh.
Or they'll use cooldowns to take you out. You're not gonna KO there. I'm just hypothetically saying, like realistically, you shouldn't KO there. But as
is there a heal pack on this side? There's a heal pack on this side. Is there a heal pack on this side? I need to look into that. Khan always gives me McDermott vibes. Okay, guys, I don't want somebody that's just McDermott. Okay, if he's gonna struggle defensively, I don't want that. He will be limited defensively, but his fire on offense more than makes up for the limitation. Oh, okay, if he's that good. Then.
Spawn, they're using cooldowns to get you out the way, which means that your team should be able to win that fight a lot easier.
Yeah. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Fight's over. Run away.
Try to.
This is 2 times we could have held off that, or at least at this particular moment. There's 2 times where we could have just held off.
Now this, I do remember this. This is what I said. Is 2 plays in this game that I did well. All right. This right here, I don't know how he's going to feel about it. Okay, I'm actually excited to go over this part. I don't know how he's going to feel about it. I waited for my ult because I'm like, okay, I got my ult. Star-Lord, or I'm about to get mine. Star-Lord has his. As soon as they popped, or actually I look at the 17 seconds left, and I'm like, I'm going straight in. Like, y'all not going to kill me.
To stagger or to burn abilities or stuff like that. You run straight back, which is perfectly fine. I probably would have done the exact same thing. It allows them to focus more on you and have to...
Yeah, I wanted them to focus on me, and I left that path so my team could go through the path.
Right. Oh, we have to turn around. Turn around. This is exactly what I was talking about with the point capture at the start.
Yeah.
Right here, this should be the end of the round. All right, so hopping into the next round. We're speaking of hopping.
Hop to be in that member. Hop to be in that member.
A member of the channel.
Yes, sir.
There's a link down in the description below, or click that join button below the video. Either or will take you to that page. You could check out the perks from it, as well as it really helps support the channel. So if that's something that you want to do, again, Spurs, which I'm reviewing right now, thank you for being a member. You're the reason why I can do things like this. So thank you, and everybody else who are members right now. Thank you. There's going to be a lot more member content coming your way. So if you
Queen's skill set and body type makes him a bit difficult to project, but I think he'll be good NBA player. The fit on the Spurs could be a bit odd, but given his IQ, it could work.
That I'm going to be doing every Friday.
Anybody with high IQ works with the Spurs, I think. Well, unless you're like... No, I think anything works. We just don't need too many guards.
Just like this, but it's going to be of my games. So if you want to see my games and you want to see how why I do what I do and things like that, check that out. You'll be getting those every Friday. We'll be streaming it so you guys can ask me questions in real time, and it will become a VOD afterward. All right, so anywho, back to playing Cap. I like that we're choosing this spot. As soon as you have the opening, I would like to see you just dive to their back line.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
This is going to be how you play defense with Cap. You have to be aggressive. You can't really hold anything.
I think at this point, I didn't respect their, like, my mindset in this one, I didn't respect their Thor, and I was trying to get him to get out of, I guess technically he's not going to be out of position if he jumps over here and tries to take this space, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, I just want to be distraction for this Thor, and I don't know, I bait him a lot.
Because it doesn't have that ability to hold angles. So like right now, we should have been jumped. We should have jumped and went right.
Yeah, they're like free game, man. They're like free game. This entire time, I'm just like, my team is so good. I just gotta not die. Like, that is not a good mindset. Yeah, he's right. That's not a good mind. Because what are they gonna do? Like, even if I dive and I hit, like, let's say she sleeps me or whatever, what they gonna do? Like, Magneto has to turn around. He's not gonna do anything, you know?
Here.
They're not gonna do anything.
What are you gonna do? Or if they focus me and turn around and all that extra good stuff, well, we have health packs there, and we have a health pack
they're not
there.
gonna do nothing.
You have a way you can defend against shots from here. You can also go this way and do it from here.
He's right.
So
I could probably skip.
I like to see you go for the back line more often.
He's right.
Often. I'm sorry, I had to. Because this right here isn't doing anything. Like, every single time that you go in, okay, that's a lie. It's not every single time. But most of the time you go in, you don't accomplish anything. You don't have a reason to do it. Maybe in your head you do have a reason. I'm looking at gameplay. So, like, gameplay-wise, it seems like you're not really having a...
In my head, literally this whole, which is a bad mindset, literally this entire game, it's like, don't die because this team is really good. Sustain, which I could have won the fights earlier. He's completely right. I should just be aggressive. But like, I'm like, don't do anything that jeopardizes this win, because I've gone into games where it's way more difficult playing Cap. So like, I've been already, yeah, he's right though. I should just like dive straight in. At this point, it's like, mess around with the front lines a little bit. I also recognize that, the Thing players, well, he was a good Thing, but some Thing players really struggle when you don't have a genuine like shield tank. So I'm like, let me be frontline a little bit, you know. But he's right. Like, this whole game, I was just way too passive. Like, I should have just been on them. Weird stuff.
He's right. Do things sometimes. However, maybe when you actually play, you're like, Pop, I'm doing this, which would make sense. But from gameplay perspective, like if I were to actually see you in my game, it doesn't really seem like you're doing anything other than just jumping around.
Yeah.
which is why people will tend to ignore you. You'll get to a rank and you'll realize that, like, oh, these guys don't even care about me anymore. It's like, yeah, because you're not doing anything with purpose.
I think I went back because they used the ult to try to help them or like shield them a little bit, but yeah, it didn't really do anything. Who the heck? And he's completely right, by the way. Yeah, you go into games where they like don't respect you at all because you're Cap. So usually I'm more aggressive. And I'm like, no, you're going to notice me. Like, I'm going to open things up. But this game in particular, yeah, I was bad.
Or just kind of thinking about target priority right now. Who would be the best to kind of take out or get in their
Her?
face? If you can, when you are fighting someone as captain, you want to be in front of them. You don't want to be behind them unless they're running away. So the rule of thumb, if they're running away...
Oh, I didn't... Okay, that's actually something I don't think about. I'm usually like on the side of them. I like that. Okay.
I guess even if they're running away, you're still in front of them, right? So always be in front of them.
Oh, he's right.
Because this means that they have to somehow shoot around you or just fight you straight up.
No, I'm like, come here. Come here. Yeah, see, it's my camera, bro. It's all over the place. I'm telling you, it's way better now.
If your team is already losing, at this point, I'd just be jumping around as much as possible. It's kind of hard to do with Storm, though, so you kind of probably just lose.
So right here, my team died. My team died.
As much as possible.
And I'm like, yeah, we're not doing anything. So I was like, they need this full thing. So I'm going to let my team come back as much as they can. I almost have my ult. I'm going to get some healing. And then I'm just going to sustain. Like, my whole mindset, which is a bad mindset. I should have been more aggressive. My whole mindset was sustain, don't die. This team is really good. You know, that's particularly the Skylord's really good. But I was like, just sustain.
It's kind of hard to do with Storm, though. So you kind of probably just lose point. But I'd be jumping around as much as possible. Wouldn't even be trying to fight. You don't have a team. Just jump around as much as possible.
No, I'm holding it. I'm holding it.
In here, jump around as much as possible.
Pop, I'm holding it. I'm holding it, Pop.
I feel like there's so much more of your kit we can be using more efficiently, and we're not. But like, if we do that, we can actually accomplish way more.
I was just waiting for my team to come back. That's all I was doing.
Okay. Like that. Again, just kind of target priority. You could probably smack this dude twice, look at Storm, and then throw your shield.
Oh,
These are just options.
That's a good point.
Don't tell
my camera's all over the place, my guy. Like, it was not good, bro.
Didn't really need to jump there. You just run that here. Maybe you were trying to get the slam, which I understand, but there's not really a reason for it. Oh, you missed anyway. Did you?
Yeah, I missed her. I hit her with my shield.
Was that a weird hit? Let me see.
No, I hit her with my thing. Oh wait, no,
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that also because
I don't know if I did.
All that time you spent in the air and landing and missing, that's time that you could have just been hitting her in the face, and she would have been KO'd right now already. She wouldn't have been able to do what she just did and got away. We still.
I hate that. I hate that he sped it up. I hate that he sped it up because, yeah, when my team died, my whole mindset was I'm gonna hold this point for them to get back. Like, my whole thing was just sustain. Like, I've noticed that their two tanks left the scene, which I don't know what they were doing. And I'm like, okay, well, I know what they were doing. They were trying to stagger us. They didn't even notice that I was still there. So I was like, I'm going to hold this. And then they started running back. And then that's where we got the extra team fight.
But she wouldn't have been able to do that. Again, I like to see you dive to the back line. This is what we do.
Well, I can't dive here, but yeah, he's right.
Fighting the guy in front, not bad. Okay, there's not really a reason to be hitting someone in a healer ult unless
I thought we killed her. I did it. I know Sky popped his, or at least that's what I heard, him pop his, and then I was just trying to give as much. Because, I mean, well, let me look at her. I'm going to look at her health.
You have someone that's going
to
one-shot them when they
he's
like
more than likely right.
Threshold, like Hawkeye or...
Fun Clan. Thanks, Chris.
Magneto or like Star-Lord if he's ulting, and you know, like you only do that in that scenario. Otherwise, just wait it out. You don't need to be doing it.
Hold on. Let me look at her health.
It doesn't accomplish anything when you're in ult. We just take damage for no reason.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Like if anything, just jump around in the ult at least, just to distract.
Only 60 seconds left.
Okay. I just realized you only gotten health packs like twice this game,
Yeah, that's true.
and that's after the fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Work on getting more health packs. Again, go to their back line. You see how you're like trying to hit people from behind? Just hit her, and she's gonna have to throw. She's gonna have to throw it through you, which she can't. She's gonna hit you, or she's gonna have to figure out a way to get past you.
Yeah,
Which you're effectively just cutting off her heals. You would do the same thing with Strange and Magneto. You would block their heals by getting in front of them. Cap just doesn't really have a great shield to do it, but luckily when you're dealing with Cloak and Dagger, her attacks are literally her heals. So I think for the most part, I would like to see you do more. I would like to see you play with more of a sense of urgency. You know, I'd like to see.
I'm going to. Gosh, I wish I was showing more.
Everything you do, you have a reason behind it. I'm not just randomly doing something. Like I'm doing it because of this. If we can continuously do that throughout the match, you're gonna be a lot more successful dealing with these higher players that really know how to deal with the captain. Because captain is really only a problem when people don't know how to deal with them. But eventually you do get to a rank where it's like, it ain't nothing to deal with the captain. From there, I would also like.
I think we have 2 more Hawks picks after this next one. I think we have this one that's an unprotected, and then we have a swap, and then maybe another unprotected, I think.
To see you cut off chokes and try to stagger timers more often.
He's right.
I would also like to see you hit people.
In this game in particular, like I would have to show him a different game, which I don't even know if he would go over it. But in this game in particular, it was a lot of like just sustain. I think at this point I might have went through quite a few games where I was doing a lot and nothing was coming from it. And this one was like, I'm going to be cautious. I was way too cautious in this game, like super cautious, to the point where, like I could have made a play earlier, but I'm like, I'm just not going to die. Like that's how I was thinking, like this game. I was like, this team is so good. We're just kind of rolling on them. I'm not going to die. But he's right.
From the front. So there's a lot macro-wise that we're going to need to work on. I won't say work on because that's kind of like incorrect, but clean up.
Yeah.
You know, and you're in Grandmaster is a rank where it's kind of like you're slowly teetering into like real gameplay now. So like once you get
this
abused
game wasn't that great
for how you play, you're gonna really understand more about what I'm saying. Again, because you're such a high rank, I really want to be as critical as possible because that's gonna be the best way to help you. Think about it this way, or think of it this way. If you were to swap to Strange or Magneto, would you be lost? If so, that's how you know we need to focus more on our macro gameplay.
Nah. I played pretty well with Magneto. I don't like playing with Magneto though. I'll be honest. But like I said, this is one of those where like it was a weird one for me. I was not aggressive at all. Nowadays it's pretty different. But he's right. Like some of those things, like yeah, go to the back line. I think even when I rewatched this, right when I did it, I was like, yeah, I could have done a little bit more. I was just kind of recognizing how good the team was and being a little bit more passive. And I was just like, sustain. I just stay alive. Just sustain. Just don't die. And then when those opportunities arise, then hit an ult, and they'll wipe them out every time. That's how I felt. I don't know. When you gonna call out the coach? Who? Mitch Johnson? I always call out Mitch Johnson. What you mean?
because what you could do with Captain, you should be able to do with Strange and Magneto, because the thought process is still there. I'm doing this because of that. I'm doing this because of that. I'm doing this because of that. Not just I'm kind of just running around and just kind of being a nuisance and trying to just fight people just to fight people. Again, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but just your gameplay speaks that to me from time to time. And so from time to time, that's what I get the feel and the vibe of. We shouldn't have that, especially if you're looking to hit Eternity or looking to hit one above all. So hope this helped you. If you got any questions, of course, let me know. Again, I apologize for getting to it so late, and I do appreciate you being a member and helping to support the channel. Again, you are the reason I can even do this stuff. So
I'm gonna send him or let me send a message onto here. Should I do a reply? I'll just do a reply to this. I'm gonna say this. Oh crap! I can't spell. Hey, I'm in. Thanks. That was really good review, by the way. I'm gonna take a lot from that. It was one thing he said in particular I thought was pretty good. Let's see, and then there we go. Yeah, he was right. It's funny because everything that he said, I just agreed with. The only stuff that I didn't think about was always being in front of them. That's something I didn't really think about, but that makes sense because they're not going to be able to just shoot straight through you. So that's one thing. When he said close the wall, obviously I closed the wall now, but when he said close the wall and jump over it, that's a really good point. Because, yeah, I could just go to that heal pack over there. I've always been hesitant doing that because I don't want to just get, like, lit up. Because in higher elos, they're just better. Like, their aim is so much better. And they can just kill me and wipe me out so quickly. But he's right. You could just hold points. Like, utilize his kit, you know? I'm really at this point, I've gotten really good with Cap and really good with the thing. But he's right. Yeah, just sustain those points, man.
Thank you. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Hopping.
I hate that he didn't point out I guess he didn't realize. It is kind of weird. It's like, oh, what are you doing? You're just doing stuff. But God, I hate that he didn't recognize the sustain of it. That was the main thing. I was just sustaining, bro. I think did I die twice or once? Twice? Once? I might have died once. Yeah, my main thing was just to sustain. Mechanics are right, but yeah, he's right. The macro level, it was like some things where it's like I was not doing what I should. But one thing I can take from this in particular is staying in front of enemies. And the one thing that I have been working on is going to the one behind. Like if there's a healer here and a healer here, I can mess around with this one. But it might be even more beneficial to mess around with this one because either this person is going to have to make a decision on to turn around, which means that they can't heal their team, or leave and keep doing what they're doing, and then I just kill the one behind them. So like that's one thing I've been working on, but staying in front of them is very smart, and I didn't think about that. And making sure I lock in on choke points is very smart as well. I think my main thing, and like he said, heal packs, that's another thing too. Like have a gameplay loop where I'm going to those heal packs immediately and not necessarily relying on my teammates. One thing in my mind when it comes to the supports on the team, I try to give them but he's right, like you're taking resources away, but I'm trying to give them like opportunity to heal me just so it can help with their ults, right? So they can get their ults too. Like I will never go back to spawn and go inside unless we're getting like really pressured. I won't go back into spawn. I'll just wait for them to come out to heal me. So that's like one thing I always do. But he's right. All this is right. That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. That was cool. I was kind of geeking out. But yeah, I definitely want to send him another one sometime. Oh man, he has a good community too. All right, let's go ahead and move that up how it was before. There we go. All right, guys, I am hopping off. I appreciate all the love. We'll be back on tomorrow, going against the Warriors, which should be fun. So we'll see how that game goes, and then we'll talk after. All right. Everyone have a good night.